Hi, I'm Trooper Smacka.
Hi, I'm Trooper Wellman,
Please stay tuned for a behind-the-scenes look at being a state trooper.
and together we can make a difference.
Here we are live at 360 Vegas Studios with Trooper Wellman for this edition of Trooper Talk. We have the new logo up there. I don't know. I guess people can respond to Trooper Talk and tell people, on the contact form if they like it or not. We had Juan here last week with the lady from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Anna.
They had to wait for a long time before we could film because I got busy over there. And it was just a disaster. But the thing is that we appreciated them coming. Tell us about the event.
So Saturday was Hometown Heroes Night, and it's a great event where the first responder community comes out and gets to interact with our community members. It's good. It's pretty reasonable price. I wasn't going to say free, but it's reasonably priced. Good family fun to come on out to the Speedway. It's at the Bullring racetrack, which has been there since 1985. So a lot of people's grandparents and children and their parents have raced at this racetrack, and so it's really cool to do like family traditions. Anyway, we go out there just for a good cause that the school police actually host, and all first responders from EMS to fire to police come out. We do a little parade on the track. Prior to the race starting, you can do meet and greets where we have all our cars lined up. Families, friends can come on out, check out the cars, talk to us. And then it consisted of multiple races throughout the night. And the first race was actually Battle of the Badges. And that consisted of 2 state police officers versus 2 Las Vegas City fire officers. And they raced in skid plate cars where they have no back wheels. They're just these skid plates, so the cars has really no traction and you're kind of sliding everywhere. It's really, really funny and like entertaining. Unfortunately, fire did win this Saturday. But and then they had part of that Battle of the Badges race was I actually put Micah May, Fallen Trooper Micah May's picture on the hood of one of our cars and another big Silver State Heroes logo on the roof of his race car because it's Donate Life Month. And so I wanted to Hometown Heroes Night, so I wanted to honor Fallen Trooper Micah May since it's Donate Life Month. And so that Trooper Alan Young was okay with me putting those logos on his car while he raced in his honor. And to take it one step further, we actually had his widow, Joanna May, wave the start flag as they took off. So it was really special. And one of the coolest moments was I brought Micah's car out there, his patrol car, and I had a trooper, so I could film. I had a trooper, he drove the car on the track. He did 2 laps with the lights and sirens prior to the skid plate car starting. And the way like the sun was setting and the car going with the lights and sirens, I actually looked at Joanna May and I could tell she was just getting choked up because, she's flashing back, used to seeing her husband in that car. But it was just like a really special moment that I'll probably always cherish. To see that car on the track, it was just really special. So I'm glad to have been a part of it. I look forward to next year. Next year, I'd really like to maybe start a new tradition with these Battle of the Badges races and put, Micah's logo on one car, Sergeant Ben Jenkins on another, and then maybe fire could put their fallen on their car, so everybody kind of races in honor of their fallen.
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of special on Hometown Heroes Night.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And so you're always driving Micah's car. So when you see the car going around, is it more emotional or less emotional than when you're actually behind the wheel of driving his car?
I think it's both. I mean, sometimes, like, there's some troopers that won't drive his car because it's kind of an eerie thing, or like even driving out to the Speedway when I was following behind the trooper that was driving the car out, Trooper Moran. Like, we passed 15 in Charleston, and I looked at the car, and I kind of flashed back for a second, and it's just a weird feeling. Granted that the car is not him, or the car is not, it's a memory, and so it kind of flashes you back. But sometimes when I drive that car, it's very special because when you're driving down the street, people will honk and wave because they know what it is. And then there's others that don't know what the car is, what this symbolizes. Because, his car is covered with signatures. We laminated it to preserve all the signatures of the community that came out and signed his car. And, and then some don't. But those that do and they wave and they honk, it gives you, like, a sense of pride. And you're like, you feel honored to drive that car because of what it represents.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But then seeing it on the track, I think it not only was it just a really beautiful moment to see that car, lights and sirens, and the sun was setting. It was just really beautiful. But then to see his family, his kids in the stands, and his wife, and it was just like, oh, like you just feel for them, You're just like, dang.
And we were so gracious when Christina was here, and she was here, and you were here, and it was just like a very special moment that, we enjoy to share because she's just such a humble lady.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That to be able to see that and to be able to share that is probably very special.
Yeah, and remember, like I told you, like, we're going on 2 years, and I think what's important is that we just, I stand by my word of keeping his memory alive, and so events like this, that's what I'm doing,
Yeah, I think it's very important, and so we thank you for going and bringing all the state police and all that, and the school police for putting on such a great event. You know what I mean, and all this type of stuff, and always inviting. Right, like the school police could do it on themselves, but they had all the badges, you know what I mean, and everything and everything there, and I love it that that people can go out with the kids, and they can go and hang out, and it's family friendly, and you know what I mean, like all that part. Stuff is very important. You know what I mean, so I think that it's great.
It was really great.
Let's see, so. It's now almost, getting to the nicer weather. People have the convertibles out, all that type of stuff. Here's the question I have. So I'm going 75 miles an hour down the road on Sunday. And this person, blows past me at like 140, 150. But they were over here, and then they went like all the way over here, and then they went all the way over here, and they're just like blowing down the road. The question that I have is, if I know exactly where I'm at, like, okay, I'm on the 15 at Sahara Boulevard. At 140, 150, when this guy is buzzing down the road, like, he could be at Warm Springs by the time I get on the phone with dispatch. And so, like, I didn't know what to do. Like, do you call? Do you not call? Do you say, there's a reckless driver go? You know what I mean? So anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Please call. You don't know where we're at in the valley. So what if there's a trooper just up ahead, and now they're prepared to look for that car because you called? It's all that difference. Just every call matters,
Okay.
And also, what if that vehicle was involved in a crime earlier that day, and we lost visual on it, and we lost it, and you just spotted it driving in a reckless manner? Now we know where its location is. So now we're going to send units over there. Maybe the air unit is available. There's so many different factors or like scenarios I could play that it's just, we would be so appreciative if you call. So star NHP, 911. If you can't remember star NHP, just call 911. And let us know when you see these reckless behaviors, because we will actually go there. If we have a trooper in the area, we will absolutely respond to that area, because that is unacceptable in our valley. It's unacceptable in our state. Our top two leading contributing factors for our fatalities is speed and impairment. And drivers like that should not be on our roadways because they have no regard for their safety or the public's. And so we, as peacekeepers, that's our job to get them off these roads.
Yeah, like it was like I see them all the time. They're in the far left lane, and they zoom down. But this guy was like this, and he went from the number 1 lane or whatever to the number 4 lane, back to the number 1, back, and it was very, very reckless. But I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You're exempt from the cell phone law if you are reporting an emergency and you are calling 911. So as long as you can safely do so. If you need to pull over, that please do so. But if you can't and you feel comfortable calling 911 to report this, a lot of us have Bluetooth in our cars. Call 911. Let us know what you're seeing. If you can get a license plate, your location, everything helps.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Star NHP. Add that to favorites.
Star NHP.
I never thought about
it gets
that.
you directly to us. If you're observing or want to report something on the highway, Star NHP bypasses 911 operator, and you get directly to our dispatch. So that saves it saves minutes, and sometimes minutes are what's the word I'm looking for?
Makes a big difference.
Absolutely,
You know
right?
what I'm saying?
So yeah, Star NHP.
Want to talk about the job fair, right? Nevada State Police is always hiring.
Yes.
And we need as many people that want to work for Nevada State Police, but you can be a trooper or you could be a civilian.
Absolutely.
And we learned about that, that at the last event, and so Nevada State Police is always hiring, right?
Yes. Well, at least for right now, we are hiring. We're trying to replenish our. I think we talked about this once before. When 9/11 happened, unfortunately, when there's tragedy in our country, you'll see an increase in military, law enforcement, or first responders in general, due to the fact that people get motivated. They want to help. They want to give back to their country. They want to give back to their community, which is amazing. So when 9/11 happened, we had a huge increase in officers nationwide. And then, we're 20 years down the road, all those officers are retiring. So now we have to replenish those officers, as well as just people that are also retiring, maybe going other career avenues. It's just the cycle. Yeah. So yeah, right now we are hiring. If you want a good career that can give you stability, benefits, if you go to the sworn side, you get a take-home car, which is huge right now. Most cars are going electric because of fuel prices. We did a statistic years ago that it was about equivalent to $10,000 a year you'll save just from wear and tear and gas and maintenance on your personal vehicle. Plus, my time is money. So, you're looking at an hour to get to work, change out, go get a car in the parking lot, the pool, we call it. Then go to your briefing. Then you load your car, you go do your 10-hour shift, come back. Now you got to unload your car, get changed out, and drive home. You're looking at another hour worth of time. So you're looking at 2 extra hours a day, and that's just on a good day,
right,
of your time that you're driving to and from work. Imagine waking up, such as I do, and getting dressed at home. I get in my patrol car from my driveway. I log on. Boom. Here we go. I start my 10-hour day. I drive home. I log off from my driveway. Boom. That was 10 hours right there. I'm off the clock. I go inside. I change out. I didn't lose any time.
Right.
I mean, there's some days that you might get stuck on a call or whatnot, but you'll be compensated for it. But overall, my time is more valuable to me sometimes than money. So just kind of what you're looking for. And with the highway patrol or with the state police in general, we're a tight family. You have flexibility to go anywhere in the state, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
If you want to work in the city for a while and then you're like, you know what, I kind of want to go be able to buy some land and raise my family in a smaller town kind of feel, you can move up to Elko, you can move up to Wells, you can move up to Reno, Tahoe, Carson. You just transfer, and you still get to maintain your career, your pension, your seniority, with shift bid, everything, because it all goes with you because you're just transferring locations. Like, it is just such a rewarding career to have, and the possibilities are endless. So if you are interested in having a career with Nevada State Police, I encourage you to come do a ride along with us. Walk in our shoes. Even if you want the civilian side, you can come do a sit along. If you want to go into dispatch, you can come sit with dispatch for an entire shift. Listen to what they do, see what they do, see if it's a good fit for you before you go through all that hard work testing process. It's an intense testing process, but it's an intense testing process for a reason, because we want the best of the best. And when you make it through, you can hold your head high because you're the best of the best and you made it through, because not everybody can. And so it's a pride thing. So I could go on and on, but ultimately, if you are interested, you can go on NevadaStatePolice.com, speak to a live recruiter today on civilian or sworn positions. They're there, during the day to answer any questions you have, and let's get you going.
Yeah, I think it's great. You know what I mean? 100%. All right, let's see what Johnny has for us today. Has received. Oh, yeah, I saw this. The phone call scams.
Yeah.
These people have no couth. You know what I mean? Like, they will take advantage of anybody for $1.
Yeah, and sometimes we're hesitant to post things like this because we don't want to startle people or cause panic. But it's important for us to communicate with our community members statewide and let them know what's going on because we don't want them to fall victim of this. And this happened a few months ago up in our Northern Command. They were using our Northern Command number, and same thing. Calling people, saying that they were the Nevada State Police and that they owed money and they were going to have a warrant for their arrest if they didn't pay it, threatening these poor individuals. And it seemed like we got control of it up north, and it was only for a short period of time. If I'm not mistaken, some other police departments have also had this happen, and now it's down south. And I have not heard, knock on wood, have not heard of any calls in the last week. So I'm hoping we got control of it again. But it's super unfortunate, and it makes me mad and frustrated because people, our badge is a symbol of trust, shouldn't be a symbol of fear. And we would never call our community members and ask for money or we're going to come arrest you. That is, please. So what a lot of people were doing was they would get off the phone, and this is the right thing to do, and they would call the number back, and it would come to our police station. So then they were like, oh my goodness, this is real. But what they did to take it a step further was they would call our police station and ask, I just got a call from this number saying I owed money. And then our receptions or our dispatchers would tell you, no, that's not true. That's not real. Please do not give them any of your credit card number. Do not, follow through with this. And then they would get more information so we can follow up. But for those that didn't and got scared, unfortunately they fell victim of this crime. And it makes me so sad for them because, they're just good, hardworking people that, got victimized on this scam call. And that's why it was important for us to communicate to them and get this out there. And for those that saw it, hopefully that's an extra, let's say there's 500 likes on it. Hopefully that's 500 people that could have possibly been a victim that we prevented,
I do. And years ago, somebody called me from Metro because Metro had the same problem. And I called somebody because I was feared.
See?
Right? And what I will tell you is that in today's world, where there's a certain percentage of people that are always distrustful when it comes to the police department and the troopers and all this type of stuff, that what people don't realize is this isn't helping the cause.
Right. Exactly.
Right, just like you're saying, and so it's like I saw this on the news, and I'm glad that Johnny put it on here because this is a very big problem, and we love the Nevada State Police, right, and everybody that works there, and we know that they would never do things in an unhonorable way like that.
Yeah,
You know
we
what
would
I'm saying?
definitely
Like it's just
never a phone call.
And let me ask you something.
Nothing like that.
And Nevada State Police is not. They're not going like they're doing stuff on the freeways. They're not like that. It's not for warrants and things like that anyway, right?
For the most part, I mean, there are times that we conduct follow up. Right, we do have detectives in our agency. We do conduct follow up on hit and runs, all kinds of stuff. We do have our interdiction team.
Right.
But
generally speaking,
like everything is in person. Nothing is we would never take payment over the phone. I'll tell you that.
I mean, you would never call somebody, right?
We call people to conduct follow-up, but it would never be...
Follow-up.
Yeah, it would never... Like, if we're building a case or an investigation, or maybe we just simply need some information, right? I feel like the first thing that comes to my mind is hit and runs. If you want to talk about...
like why someone would call.
Yeah, like if somebody was involved in a crime or a hit and run, and we're trying to locate them and find out, were you involved in this, or, your vehicle was described in possibly a case. But again, nothing with payment-wise.
Nothing with payment. Okay,
Yeah, we would never say you're going to be placed under arrest if you don't give us funds. That's not going to happen with us.
And so that could be even more of a takeaway, which is that if somebody ever calls you and then asks for payment.
I would say that's
That-
how you
that-
can determine that is not the Nevada State Police. And again, if you want to clarify and double check,
Yeah.
you call our station 702-486-4100 or even our dispatcher, Star NHP, and you can talk to a supervisor or a dispatcher and clarify, is this real? Is there really a case on this? Blah, 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 blah. And we can go from there.
Okay. Very good. Good job, Johnny. This was actually very important. I saw that. I sent Johnny this the other day. Did you see this?
Mm-mm.
So we always talk about the Uber and the Lyft, and when if you're drinking and or you're you can't drive or whatever, right? So now they have the illegally operating rideshare drivers driving up safety concerns in Las Vegas because now they put the Uber thing or the whatever on their car and it's not for Uber. And they pick you up at a hotel and they drive you to wherever and they say it's $50.
But it's not electronic. It's
No.
cash.
Yeah, so the person isn't actually working for the rideshare companies. So the reason I bring this up is because we always talk about the fact of using these services.
Yeah.
And so I've used the Uber once in my life. It was very easy. It was very convenient. You know what I mean? But whatever you do, all I can say is use the app.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just go into a person's car who has the sticker on there.
Exactly. You should know that you can't even order a Uber or Lyft or do a transaction without using electronic devices, right? The app, because everything is paperless.
Oh,
So
okay. You can't. So there's no cash.
there's no cash transaction.
Okay, so if you get into a car and the guy says, "Okay, I'm taking you to wherever, it's $25," then that's not.
I feel like the only way that could happen, and I might be wrong, is if somebody drives up and they said, "Did you need a ride? I'm Uber. You can just come in. I'll take you down the way."
Yeah.
So that's up to you to not get in that vehicle.
Right,
Going back to what
100%.
things we learn as children, don't get into a stranger's car.
Right.
Because you need to use the app for the app. Those apps are in place for your safety. Again, no cash transaction. It tracks your location. It tells you who the driver is. It tells you the vehicle and the plate, so that way you know what vehicle to get into prior to it arriving. And if you ever wanted to share your location to a loved one or a friend so they know where you're at, you can send it as well. Again, it's all for your safety.
okay.
Not to promote these companies too much, but these are all put in place for your safety. And that's why I feel comfortable promoting them for alternative solutions to people that decide to get impaired,
Yeah, no, and I agree, and that's why I don't want people to get scammed because they're impaired, and then all of a sudden they do this because here's the thing, it doesn't help our city with all the taxes and all that type of stuff, and then it's not helping with the safety because you don't know, maybe their car is inadequate or who the heck knows what
There's
goes
a
on.
reason why they don't work for that company,
Oh yeah, there's a right.
There's a
Okay.
reason.
Right,
They
right.
either didn't pass something, maybe they're not a good person, if you want to say. But what's unfortunate is not only are they possibly putting people in danger, but also the people that Uber and Lyft is their financial income. That's their job. Like, that's the only income they have. You're jeopardizing their reputation so that people aren't going to trust and want to ride with them. And that's where it gets frustrating,
Yeah, 100%. So please, everybody that's watching, just to be safe and make sure, like you're saying, to do it on the app.
Yeah, double check
You know
everything.
what I mean? Double check everything. Yeah, I sent this to him the other day. I couldn't believe it. What's this? Speeding is one of the leading causes of fatal crash. 110.
Yeah, and then that one was 115. Yeah, those were the other day. That was actually up in Reno, and that one was down in Vegas. And I posted those the same day because that was the day we got both of them. And it just
115.
doesn't even matter where you're at in Nevada. People are going over 100 miles an hour. Like, it's just crazy.
And let's talk about something. You are trained that when you have to put on your lights and your sirens and you have to go to a call at an excessive speed, that you've been trained for that, right? The car is up, the tires are the right tires and the brakes are the right brakes, and then you've been trained for that. You're not just getting in a car that can go that speed and just taking off down the road.
Yes, we do extensive hours of training at high rates of speed in our patrol vehicles. We learn how to drive, turn in quick maneuvers. We learn how to brake and drive and steer all at the same time. We do all these different scenarios so that way we can react if we ever were presented with that situation. But ultimately, we are held to a higher standard, and we know that. And so when we're responding at a high rate of speed, we know that we have to not only take caution with all different methods when we're driving, but the public's safety is in our hands as we're driving at this high rate of speed. And so that is something we do not take lightly, and that's why we train constantly. Code 3, lights and sirens 30 miles over the posted speed limit. So that's 95 miles an hour usually. That's code 3. That's one of our highest priority, and we stay around 95 miles an hour. There is code 3 high, where I have driven that route where I've gone over 100, and that was when my partner was shot. And there's certain situations where we have to get there, or there's multiple different scenarios, but it's very, very rare that you will see us go over 95 miles an hour, because we will be held accountable in our agency at code 3. We have to stay within our policy and procedure as well. And those are in place, again, for our safety, but also for our public safety, because there's majority of things you do not need to go over 100 miles,
right? And that's the exact, that's what people need to hear.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, you're going to now take and force a trooper to get on their radio and say, I'm going code 3, and they are, let's say they're following someone like this, right? They're putting everyone's life in danger so that they can get somewhere a little bit faster or whatever. And so this is a very, very big problem, and we need to address it every time we see it. You know what I mean?
That's why I've been posting more of it, just because seeing is believing, and I don't want the public to constantly think oh my gosh, people are just speeding. What are you guys doing to slow them down? So it's important for you to know that we're out there 24/7 slowing drivers like this down. We are enforcing it. We are doing our best to make a difference. But it really comes down to accountability and personal responsibility. And people need to slow down and not, like you said, put us in this situation where we have to attempt to overtake and catch up to write you a citation, or possibly arrest you for reckless driving. It all is preventable, and all doesn't need to even take place if you would just slow down and go the speed limit.
Yeah. Where you get off the 15 to get onto the 215 West, and you can either continue straight to go onto the 215, or you bear right to go onto the 215 West, right on that corner. There was 2 troopers there on Sunday, right? One of them waved at me when I was driving by. I don't know who it was. It looked like Sergeant Smacka, but
Could be.
But as I turned, the corner, and you saw 2 troopers there with the car there in front, and they looked like a clipboard or whatever on the front of his car. You know what I mean? You're putting these troopers in danger for these ridiculous reasons. And I don't know what happened. But I'm just saying, it's it's one thing that somebody wants to go a little bit over the speed and they get in trouble, and they're 15 miles an hour, whatever, and they're whatever. But these people are just out of control, and they're putting the troopers, their lives in jeopardy because they want to do it.
But they're also putting the public
and they're
in
putting
jeopardy.
the public, right?
And that's where I get frustrated, because for what? For what? You just want to go fast because you want to joyride, you want to break in your car? Go out to the track. We have a speedway that does multiple events where you can go drive fast. I see these fatalities. If one person breaks and you weren't ready and you were going 115,
yeah,
you're going to lock up, and there's nothing you can do. There is nothing you can do. You're going to be all over the place trying to react. If a dog runs in front of you and you're traveling 115 miles an hour, you're going to lock up. Your reaction time is just completely gone because you're going such a high rate of speed. And it just it's just all preventable, and that's the frustrating part. It's like you don't need to be traveling that fast. If somebody doesn't see you, especially like motorcycles and that, you see them, zipping by, you're not going to be able to react. And if you do, you're probably going to lose control of your bike because you have to do it so fast and abruptly. And it's just like, was it worth it? It's not. It's never worth it. And I don't know what else to do, or like posting and saying, and it's just like, slow down. It's that simple. Just slow down.
And let's just say this, that you maybe not will, but you can die. We've seen it multiple times on Trooper Talk, where we've talked about it, where you've seen it personally besides the Trooper Talk, where people are driving at these fast rates of speeds and they die.
Yeah.
For this one, I was reading, so they have new hours for the HOV lane.
Mm-hmm.
The HOV lane general is for a car that has two or more vehicles, not a person with a dummy, a stuffed dummy, right? Like a fake person. It has to be two live people, remember?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They have to be living. They have to be
Yes.
breathing.
Yes. So the HOV is made for multiple occupants in a vehicle to travel and utilize that lane. It's seemed to be very successful in other cities and states. So we wanted to, try it here in Las Vegas to see if it would help with our commute. Now with that, our community has been very vocal about it, and if they like it, if they don't like it. And although I can't speak too much about it because this really goes off of Nevada Department of Transportation, so NDOT, they're the ones who put these, times and restrictions in place. As Nevada State Police, we just enforce them. But what I can say is the new hours, I think people will be happy with this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times that you look over to your left and it's not being utilized to the capacity that we thought it would be. Myself as a community member, I look at it and I'm thinking, there's nobody even in the lane. Like, why is it HOV right now? We just lost a whole lane, and especially somebody that works traffic, and I'm trying to keep traffic flowing at all times. It's you want to keep traffic flowing. That's our goal. And so the new hours are going to be from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. You can only utilize that lane between 6 and 8 a.m. if you have multiple occupants in your vehicle or you're a motorcycle.
Motorcycle can go in there?
Motorcycle is exempt from it. But if it's after 8 a.m., now the public can use it. Everyone can use it. You can be one occupant in your vehicle. And then from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., because those are our rush hour times, again, it's going to be reinforced multiple occupants. So from 4 to 6. And so you have 6 to 8 and you have 4 to 6. Anytime between those, you're free to use it.
And I see, so it's like $250. You get a fine.
Correct. If you are.
And
I need to double check this, but I believe it's only Monday through Friday. And again, Nevada Department of Transportation did release a statement on the new rules, as well as they're going to be posting all new signage so that it is made clear to everyone of when you can use it, when you can't use it. But I believe it's only Monday through Friday that will be in play.
Right. Remember when he was here, he gave out a cell phone number.
Nevada Department of Transportation?
Are
you thinking about Andrew Bennett?
Yes.
The Director of Traffic Safety?
Remember when he was here, he said, "This is my cell phone number. You have a problem, you call me right away." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah, no, I'm personally, I'm excited about this. I think it'll be a good change because, again, sometimes this lane would really, there's only so many troopers to enforce it anyway, and that's another huge comment we get all the time is, nobody's ever enforcing it, and it's like, we're trying, like, there's only so many of us. So at least this will help with something.
And don't call Star NHP to blow their phone up because there's a person driving with one person in the car or something, right?
You can. It's fine.
It's okay.
If we have a trooper in the area, we'll send him, so it's fine.
Okay. The good thing is that it's for the city, and hopefully it helps. 69 lives is 69 too many.
Correct.
18% great, so some people... Thanks for watching Trooper Talk.
That's
you know
what
I'm
I was gonna say. Like, you never know. Like, maybe people are watching Trooper Talk. Maybe people are starting to slow down from social media, things that they're seeing and hearing. I mean, something's changing, so that's good, right? We want change.
It's really good.
18%, 19%.
That's a big percent, though.
That's great.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, not in a silly way, but I mean, like, it really is a significant difference. I don't know. I know that people, people say that now that the Trooper Talk is on the Tuesday and Thursday.
So many people watch it now.
That it's just a more even time where people can watch it all the time. I mean, listen, if it saves one person, it's worth it. You know what I mean?
It's worth it, right?
And so we know that going to all the events, like with Joanna and Ann Carpenter and all them, that helps too. Just the fact of being out there, Nevada State Police.
Yeah.
Maybe people are, like you said, slowing down or not heeding the call.
Yeah.
I love it. What? That's it already? Johnny, where's the next 10 pictures? Next week. All right. Trooper Wellman, thanks so much. It's we'll talk more as to the fact of getting into the summer and all that type of stuff and what people need to keep in the cars and stuff. Nevada State Police, right? Just
That's
go
right.
there and talk to Officer Trooper McClarty and tell him we sent you over there and you need to join right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. We'll talk to you soon. All right.